pride and ego needs to be completely out the door if you ever think you're going to succeed anywhere in life. I would just hate for y'all to make friends with a snake that looks like a caterpillar. Even though it's how it's often promoted, the main priority of college is not to party. It's really not worth it. Partying gets old. Everyone's character will eventually show for itself. Hey y'all, hey, I'm Myioshi and welcome back. I was really trying to get this video done before the sunset, but you know, I had reflection table videos to record and you know me, I got a little distracted or whatever, but we're here now, so we gonna get it done. Only reason I was trying to get it done before the sunset is because the LED light or the ring light is so hard on my eyes. So when I'm looking at the camera, I sometimes feel like I have to squint. I wonder if I should put on my Blu-ray protective glasses. I don't know, we're just gonna do this video. It's gonna be real quickity quick or whatever after I edit it. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and make this video for anybody who is heading off to college and this is your first time away from home. I'm not talking about those of you who went to boarding school because you kind of already have a little, I don't want to say a leg up on anybody, but you know what I mean? Because I went to boarding school and I felt like I was a little more prepared on what I was going to face, you know, when I went away from home. This is just anyone heading off to college or being away from oh, let me get some water. Dang, drank all my water, y'all. But yeah, or anyone going away from home for your first time ever, like this is for you. First things first, don't be nervous. I know it can be daunting and a little nerve-wracking, but I promise you, like, all is going to work out. You are going to make friends. You may not have the best roommate situation at first. Like, you never really know, but regardless, it's all going to work out. I think where I want to start off is everybody is not your friend. And the reason why I'm starting off by saying that is because as soon as you get to college, like you're thrown into orientation, you're thrown into all these different groups and all this other stuff. So you're just meeting a whole bunch of new people. But again, everybody is not your friend. I had somebody low-key cross me and lie on my name. Literally, it was probably like the second week of freshman year. I don't even remember when it was. It may have been the third week. But I don't really know what her motive was, but it didn't work in the end because my character had already been established from day one. And it wasn't like, oh, I thought she was my friend, whatever, but I was like, dang, like, we cool. Why would you even make some... And it was bizarre, y'all. Like, it was so bizarre, but I'm not even gonna say what it was because it's really not worth giving it the energy. I just really want to emphasize that point, and I want y'all to go in with that mindset. And no, that's not saying like, oh, everyone is a bad person, because she's not a bad person. And I'm not saying be antisocial. I'm not saying look at everybody like, oh, like you're a snake. The only reason why I'm saying that is because there are going to be tons of people who are going to try to be buddy with you, wanting to hang out, do all this extra stuff. Just don't be gullible and green in the process of attempting to make friends, you know? I would just hate for y'all to make friends with a snake that looks like a caterpillar. Just give it time and just know that everyone's character will eventually show for itself. Next one is fear of missing out, or as they call it now, FOMO. Don't knock your priorities like classwork or studying or time to yourself just for a few hours at a party on a Friday or Saturday night. It's really not worth it. Partying gets old. You don't always have to be on the scene. You don't have to be at every single party. Even though it's how it's often promoted, the main priority of college is not to party, not to make a whole bunch of friends. Like, don't waste your parents' money or put yourself in debt, drinking, smoking, partying your life away. And like another sad thing is there are some people who literally don't outgrow partying. So you don't want to make partying a habit, so much so to the point where you're literally still doing the same old thing when you're like in your 30s. No, that's not growth. For the most part, your classes are going to be ginormous. Now, I will say that is something that I was not used to because when I went to boarding school, we had Harkness table. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Our classes were small. I'm talking 9 to 12, maybe at most 16. And in college, boy, oh boy. I had a couple of small classes, but for the most part, those things were huge. That being said, try to see if anyone has started any class group chats. See if the teacher is okay with you recording the class, because sometimes it is difficult to pay attention in a class of like 100 and you just hear like fiddling and all that stuff going on. And yeah, sometimes you may have to go back and rewatch lectures, or even ask your professor or ask one of the TAs whether or not the classes are recorded, if there's any way for you to go watch it back. make sure you're always taking your laptop or you have a pen and paper, like whatever it is that you need to take notes that has been efficient for you and has been successful for you, use that. I would highly recommend having multiple notebooks, pens, pencils, highlighters, and go to your professor's help sessions. Like if you can't make it for a pressing issue, that's one thing. But if you can't make it because you're trying to sit and socialize or you're trying to catch up with everybody, like no. Go to your professor's help sessions. There are professors who literally give extra points on an exam or just extra points to the final class total, like depending on how many help sessions that you attended. But I would highly recommend going. I would highly recommend getting to know your teachers, because at the end of the day, those are the same individuals who are going to have to write your letter of recommendations when you're trying to apply for an internship, job, like whatever it might be. Go to the help sessions, get to know your professors, ask for help always. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's one of the TAs. I don't care if it's one of the professors. Get rid of that notion like, oh, I don't want to be the one to ask for it. No, let that go. That is ego. That is pride. And pride and ego needs to be completely out the door if you ever think you're going to succeed anywhere in life. What else? To my fellow young women, leave the little boys alone. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I'm just save you the trouble. Leave them alone. If you call yourself trying to court someone, date someone, whatever it is that you might do in college, like it is unlikely that your very first quote unquote relationship is going to be the person you're gonna marry. I mean, if you have intentions on marrying, I would hope you have intentions on marrying in the future. But all of that is to say, like, don't get caught up in trying to have a companion, or again, fear missing out. Call yourself being left out because everybody else has a little boo thing, like whatever. That is just a distraction. And I promise you, you're gonna find yourself distracted some way, somehow. So again, I'm gonna just save you the trouble. I don't even need to get into it. Leave them alone. As far as rooms go, I would say definitely choose your roommate wisely. I have heard so many roommate horror stories. Some people pick roommates via Facebook groups or group chats. I would say from what I saw in my 3 years of being an RA, the roommates who didn't really know each other prior to coming into college, they were good. And even some of them like went on to be roommates further in their college careers. From what I witnessed, it seemed like a lot of the roommates who did have issues were those who knew each other prior to coming into college. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I know some people say, oh, don't room with your sister, whatever. But again, I've seen successful stories. I've seen horror stories. There is no ideal way on how to pick the perfect roommate. There's nothing that can tell you the perfect situation or how to pick a perfect roommate. It just doesn't work like that. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I was blessed enough to have a wonderful roommate my freshman year. She's so hilarious. I actually got a text her. I think she changed her number. But after that, I had my own room sophomore, junior, and senior year because I was an RA. So that's a hack if you're trying to get your own room. Become an RA. No, I'm just playing. Don't become an RA for that reason, but depending on what college you're at least I went to UNC Chapel Hill and all RAs had their own room. So if you're not religious, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, you can just fast forward all the way to the end and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But if you are, stay close to God. Whatever way or however you can, whether you are listening to a lecture or a sermon or whatever resonates with you, whether you're listening to that on the way to class or whether you're listening to that while you're working on a project, try to get in a scripture or two every single day. And if you feel like you can't make that commitment to actually pick up a book to read it, get an app so that it sends you a verse of the day, a scripture of the day, whatever. You just never want to lose yourself in the ways of the world. So stay prayed up, blessed up, all that stuff y'all be saying nowadays. There may be tons and tons of stuff that I missed. If there are specific things or situations that y'all would like for me to talk about, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Or if any of my fellow like college alums like have any advice that they want to give others, like please feel free to drop it in the comments. As far as food goes, it just depends on what college you're going to. I'm just trying to think about what's the most cost effective and what makes the most sense, because meal plans are very, very expensive. Most dorms that I know of do have kitchens. If there's a grocery store close to you and you have access to a kitchen, I would say meal prep. I don't know if at your colleges, like in your rooms, you're allowed to have a fridge, but for the most part, most dorms allow fridges. So yeah, meal prep, prop your food right in the fridge. However, this is if you're trying to budget, get the cheapest meal plan and also do meal prep. Like, look for the most inexpensive meal plan. It'll likely be, I don't know, you might get like one swipe a day. But I will say, having a meal plan, you can meet a lot of people like just in the dining hall. That is actually how I met one of my very best friends. As far as studying goes, having soft music, whether it was piano instrumentals, like lo-fi beats, like, you know, the lo-fi hip hop. I used to listen to one of those calm playlists on Spotify as well. Those were very, very helpful. Studying at your desk is so much better than studying in your bed, because when you study in your bed, you're gonna get sleepy because of muscle memory. Your brain has literally remembered that your bed is like a comfort place and that is the place where you sleep, versus your brain is conditioned to know what you're doing when you're at a desk, you're working. I'm not saying you're not gonna doze off at your desk, because I have plenty of times, but for the most part, if you are well rested, that's not gonna happen. Do your best to study at a place where you're going to be upright and not like super comfy. I'm not saying you gotta be uncomfortable, but yeah, you don't want to be in a spot that's so cozy that you're always just gonna want to fall asleep there. But yeah, that is really all that I had written down. Again, if y'all want more specific questions, scenarios, whatever answered, please feel free to drop it below, and I'm more than happy to create a video and talk more in depth about it. I'm wishing y'all the absolute best on the beginning of y'all's college journeys, or even if you're watching this and you're already in college, like, I'm wishing you so much success on the rest of your journey. And if you came across this video and you're not going to college, that is okay too, because I'm not even gonna hold you like literally, I could have been 10 billion more steps further in things that I'm doing now that nothing in college taught me. But it's okay. It's neither here nor there, because God allows all to happen for a reason. And there's always something that we can take from every single experience. Even though sometimes I feel what I just mentioned, I wouldn't not go to college. You know what I'm saying? I needed everything that I gained from there, whether it was like personal experience, educational experience, whatever it was, God knew that I needed it all. So I don't question it. But yeah, even if you're not going to college, it's okay. I don't think you need to go to college to be successful. But that's just me. That whole idea of like needing an education to succeed in life is just so, yeah. But that's another video for another day. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope that was helpful. And like I said, I'm wishing y'all so much peace and love and enjoyment on y'all's journeys. And if you got this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time.